Well, hey everybody, it's Tom here. Welcome back to my shop. And it is a good day to be in the shop. It is, I don't know, end of November. It is cold, ugly, raining outside. So, yeah, perfect day to be in here and getting something done. So today's video, we're going to be putting a DRO on the Big Jet lathe. It's a little bit different DRO than your standard, so I hope you guys enjoy the video, or this may run into like a two-part series. I'm not sure how long it's going to go, but I think you'll find it interesting. I couldn't find any videos about this particular DRO system on YouTube, so that's why I figured I'd film it, and it'd be a good resource for other people that may want to go this route. So let's get started. So those of you that are new to my channel, you're looking at the largest lathe in my shop. This is my Jet 24 by 120. So it's basically a 2-foot swing and a 10-foot bed. It is a gap bed lathe. So if I pull the gap, I can swing like 31.5 inches inside that gap. Using either travel dials or DTIs, the magnetic base kind of works. But when you got a long shaft and you got to go to different positions and come back, it's really cumbersome. So that's why I wanted to put a DRO on this. Challenge is, with a 10-foot bed, you need a 10-foot scale, right? So I reached out to a machinery dealer that sells used machinery, used tooling, and there was also a distributor for I think it was Newell. And I asked him, hey, can you get a 10-foot scale? And he says, I think so. I said, all right, well, let me, let you check on the price and get back with me. And he did, and it was going to be $5,000 for a 10-foot scale. And then, I can't remember what the cross slide is. And I was like, well, it's a little bit outside my budget. And then he told me, well, he says, I've got this Trax system you might be interested in. I was like, okay, I've never heard of it. And he sent me a link to his eBay listing, and it had a video on it. And I was like, oh man, this is perfect. This is the cat's meow. So I bought it, and that's what we're going to install. So let me get you over to the workbench now, and I'll show you what I bought. So here's the animal I did not know existed. So this is a Trax, number 102 by Southwestern Industries. If you're familiar with travel dials, they're the manufacturer of those. What's cool about this system here, if you see it set up, it's acting like kind of two travel dials, except it goes to a readout. So it doesn't matter how much travel or how little travel you got, you're not bound by scales. These will just continue to measure and measure and measure. They're infinite, so that's totally awesome. It's an older system, but I believe Southwestern Industries still supports this as of now. Not sure how long. But, so if you can see, so here is the reader head. And here is the wheel. And I don't know if you can see the readout from here. It might be getting washed out. Can't tell. Is that any better? So, as this is traveling down either the X or the Y axis, then obviously it's measuring, just like a normal DRO scale would. So pretty cool. And then if you notice, the wheel has got a taper to it, and then obviously it's sitting on this mount, and then you've got the jack bolts, so you can get it so it's reading accurately by wherever you need to set it on the wheel, the diameter of the wheel. So task of this video is getting both of these mounted up, so I'm gonna have to figure out some bracketry, and then obviously mounting this to the carriage will be pretty easy. So that's what we got, a Trax number 102. So pretty cool. You can see as I'm rotating it there. So this way I didn't have to buy a 10-foot scale. So let's get over to the lathe and kind of get a plan of attack, see which X or Y axis I want to mount first, and we'll go from there. You're looking at the back of my lathe here in the carriage. think I'm going to do the X travel first. So this is one of the brackets that came with it. This is a bracket provided by Southwestern Industries. You can get several different kinds. Apparently back in the day, you just tell them what kind of lathe you had, and they would give you a bracket that should work for it. This is going to be pretty close. Looking at it, I think if I mill this down a little bit and maybe mill the top, we can get this thing to line up. So let me get this apart, see how much we need to remove. We got a little bit of adjustment back here, if you guys can see that, to move it in and out. So once we get it close, then we can fine tune it. So I think that's what we're going to do. All set up over here at the Baney mill. Got a 3-inch carbide insert face mill. We'll just start chewing it down. Got this axis mounted. I didn't bother showing, drilling and tapping a couple of holes. I mean, you guys don't want to see that. And I don't know if you can see, I got the display there. And let me walk you over here real quick. Sorry about that. There's Mr. Chaos. So I've got my dial gauge here, and then I've got the readout. Let's see, let me get you right there. You guys can see the readout. So I've got it pretty much dialed in. So if I go another 100 thou on the DTI, which is like right there. So yeah, we just went 100 thou. Actually about 5/10 over, but I might have missed my mark on the DTI. So that one's dialed in, so that's awesome. So let me work on getting the other axis mounted. I think what I'm going to do, this is a bar that came with it. I think I'm going to use this, and what I'm going to do is we'll mount it here, and I'll run the reader head off of that and then mount it out here. So that way both of them are out of the way of the tailstock, chips, if I ever had to do the fall rest. So plus I've got tightening up the cross slide here, so nothing's going to be in the way, and she should work pretty good. So let me work on modifying that bracket and getting everything mounted up. Just got the second axis all hooked up. She's reading indirect, so I've got to go read the manual and figure it out, but she is at least reading accurately. So when I come 100 thousandths here, it's reading 200 thousandths. So I don't do that on either of my lathes, so I'm going to change that so I'm consistent with all of them. I don't know if you guys will be able to see it if I set you down. Look at the viewfinder. Might be able to. Let me try this. Hopefully, I don't know. Is there a lot of glare? Let me see. Yeah. Let me
That better? Well, I got to hold my hand over it. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not. It's kind of washing out. Hold on. And you see if I hold my hand over it and do it at the same time here. Alright. You can see the readout also. So we're coming up on a 100 thou right there. I'll show you a smidgen. Let me tap her and she'll maybe come on up. I went over it, but there you go. And then you can see she's reading 200 thou over there on the readout. So, all right, sweet. So the readouts are done. All I gotta do is get this actually mounted up. I'm gonna make a bracket for it, and I'm thinking about sticking her, I don't know, maybe right here. I checked the fall rest. It does not interfere if I put a bracket and stick it there. I just got a lot of stuff going on over here, so I don't know if I want to stick it here, but let me think on it and get the bracket made, and we're on the home stretch. I gathered up some material, and I'm going to go ahead and knock out a stand for that DRO display. Got the bracket all made up. Now it's time to work on the support. Over here at the lathe, time to make the little shaft that's going to go in to that rod that's going to be sticking up off the cross slide. Just going to make a kind of a plug to go in the top of it, and then 941, and then we'll cut a groove in there for a retaining screw, and then up here probably turn it down some, and then I don't know, weld it on the back, I guess. Alright, got a little bit to take off. It's mild steel, so the finish ain't gonna be superb. It doesn't matter since it's going inside the tube anyways. This should be the final pass. I'll need to take a few thou off, which didn't help using carbide. Don't need much, just need a groove for retaining it. So this is what I was talking about. So she slides in there. Got this groove for a retaining screw or a grub screw. So we'll just have to figure out where that lines up on here and drill and tap a hole. And then I'm not sure, I'll probably just maybe mill some of this out and use this to mount onto the back of the bracket that we made that goes to the DRO. And then I gotta make a foot here so she'll mount down onto the cross slide over there and paint her, and she'll be done. So let's get over to the mill. Alrighty, everything is fabricated up. So this is the bracket that's going to hold the actual DRO readout. You guys saw me mill a flat on this piece here, and you saw me weld it up. So that's all done. And then something simple here. Just got a foot here. 4 holes drilled into the carriage, so let's just support this. And then a threaded hole which locks this in, so it stays in but rotates. So I think we got us a winner here. I'm going to go ahead and get it cleaned up and get a coat of paint on it. So just got wrapped up. The installation is complete. Looks good. You guys can see that from here. So I ended up putting everything over here on the back of the carriage, both reader heads. And I guess what's nice is, you know, the previous owner, I had it on a lathe, kept the original bracketry. So basically all I had to do is bolt it all up, and you know, he already had it calibrated for a lathe, so you know, it's a win. It made it really easy. Just had to make this column here to support it, and I can move it around a little bit, but it should be out of the way of, you know, chips and coolant and all that, since we'll be cutting right here. Here's what the back side looks like, and do a little recap. This is a T102-60, so this is a Trax 2-axis. So you got there, they got the third one blocked off. So if you had a T101, it'd be for 1-axis, T102 2-axis, and a 103 for 3-axis. Now reading the manual, this -60, what this means is this will read for 60 inches, so 5 feet. So if I run it all the way down, it's going to stop at 60 inches. Basically what you do is just hit reset, and then you continue on, and it'll read another 60 inches. So it doesn't read infinitely on the display, but it does on the reader. So, you know, if you're over here, you face something, and you need to do a feature 7 feet in or something, so then you'd move, you know, basically 60 inches, reset it. So, you know, you move 5 feet, and then you continue on another 2 feet. So that's how that's going to work. Got the cables kind of up and out of the way, so hopefully this should work out really well. I'm probably going to run dial indicators for a couple jobs just until I get confident with this thing, but you know, once it shows that it's, you know, reading properly, then, you know, I won't have to do that, and I can just use the Trax. Well, all right, video of different sorts. Some of you guys will enjoy watching this. Nothing out there on the internet about this, you know, Trax system. At least not on YouTube, I couldn't find. So hopefully this will be a reference for people that buy this system, and they can see how I installed it. Hopefully give them some pointers. So just to recap, Southwestern Industries, Trax 102, 103, and it's for mills and lathes. And I guess anything else you want to put a DRO on, I guess you could put it on a surface grinder or whatnot. But, you know, I'd probably go a different route. It'd be cheaper. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thumbs up are always appreciated. Leave comments down below. Mr. Chaos says thanks for watching also, and we'll catch you on the next video. All right, see you guys. Bye.